Hey, fellow seekers. So today we're going to talk to you about why we're here. Why are you here?
I got lost.
I think most of us have been lost. Maybe even most of our lives we've been lost, right?
That's a valid point. I mean, I think we're all just kind of, taught to the standard daily grind, and that's definitely something that's not easy to get yourself out of that mold.
Right. Punch in and punch out of life, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. We believe there's kind of a trap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you buy a house you can't afford, so you're going to work sometimes 7 days a week, so you can pay for a said house, and you're never in it or enjoying it, let alone enjoying the rest of the world. So that life might be for some other people, but we realized that's not the life we want to have.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of been a struggle. It's always, and I'm sure we're not the only ones within it that, oh, well, next year will be better, or next year will be better, or,
Right.
you'll pay this bill down and things will get easier. And as we're all aware, instead of that making a difference, you usually end up making another bill, and then it stays the same. And the saying, the more money you make, the more money you spend, is definitely true. Because I feel that up until we really started making these changes, it didn't matter if I was making $13 an hour versus $40 an hour. My quality of life, the time I had was no different.
Right. I firmly believe that there's an even exchange in life. So for every give, there's take, or for every take, there's give. So everything that you're giving of yourself is taking something from you. Whether that's buying something new, it's going to take time to pay for it, or it's going to take up space in your life that you might not even recognize that you're making these exchanges. For instance, when I decided that in my heart I needed to be spending more time raising my children versus at home or at work all the time. Granted, I made a good living. I would say I was extraordinarily miserable.
Yes.
And that's an understatement.
And it was one of those things. Yes, I mean, at that time, I mean, we made relatively about the same amount of money. So when she came home one day, and we didn't talk about her leaving her job. It was, hey, we need to go pick up my stuff. I quit. It was a little nerve wracking, but we adjusted. I figured things out. Um, Within that, things got better for her. But then with myself having to pick things up and figure things out, then I was working a lot
mm-hmm.
more. And I never let that go. I mean, this was 6 years ago when she decided to do that, and then within those 6 years, I've just always run every single day, and I can't do anything without looking at it as a form of making money. Because I guess in my entire upbringing, that's always was what was kind of instilled in me, was that it didn't really matter what was going on, you just need to make more money. And I have come to the conclusion that that is the most false statement in the world. I mean, yes, we all need money. We all need to be able to pay our bills.
Right.
But there is definitely a balance that people need to find. And it will be your own balance, because not, what works for us won't work for the next
Mm-hmm.
person. And to be honest, we have no idea what works for us yet. I mean, we're, as you're watching this, we are just starting this, and it's going to be an adjustment. We're going to figure things out as we go. We'll bring you guys along for it. And hopefully we figure it out. The biggest thing that makes us different from a lot of other people out on YouTube is neither of us have ever made an income remotely or over the internet. I've always been a hands-on type of person. I ran a water department, and I have had a photography business, which I still do. COVID kind of killed that in 2020. And I obviously do the RV inspections, but again, it's all hands-on. It requires me to be there. So it will be a lot different for us on the road, because
Right.
We have to adapt to that. Our income isn't going to stay the same. It will be dependent on where we are, and there will be times where we will have to move to certain locations just to be able to make a little bit more money probably. I think. I don't know.
Right.
It's so this is very different for me because I am a very a planned and oriented person. I like to know exactly what's going on. I as much as I hate that, I've always enjoyed knowing that my paycheck was going to be there every 2 weeks. So this will be an extremely large adjustment for us.
And we're the definition of, I think, opposites attract, because I'm kind of like, you know, you're not going to catch the fish if you don't cast the reel. Like, you've got to throw it out there. And I firmly believe that through necessity, things just kind of unravel, and like it unravels the way it's supposed to.
Yes, she's an optimistic, and I'm
Pessimistic?
maybe
Yeah, definitely.
maybe a little
But I
bit.
think that that works really well for us because he keeps me more grounded and I keep him out of the
Yeah, between the
from
two of us,
drowning.
hopefully it turns into being a good medium.
I hope so.
We'll see.
So, the main reason why I think we want to do this kind of lifestyle is that we want to experience life with our kids. We both grew up really early in life. We didn't really have time to be children. Things, unfortunately, and I'm not knocking our parents or the way that we grew up at all, because I think that that's a huge part of who we are today. But we both definitely had to mature at young ages, and I think we both look at our childhoods like, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking for both of us, but
No, I agree.
we didn't get everything we needed out of it. And, life was different.
Yeah, I
And,
was a weird 18-year-old kid worrying about his retirement.
right.
That was what I was concerned about over everything else.
And I think through having our own children, that's taught us so much about what really matters in life and how to try to grab hold of that.
I hope so. I mean, it's. I mean, we'll see. I'm sure our kids in 20 years or 30 years will.
Right? They might hate us for
Yeah.
this. Oh, they might hate us so badly,
They're
but
either going to really, really like us or really, really hate us. But if we stay at home, I think it's still a 50-50 shot.
yeah, I mean 50-50 for sure.
I mean, I just realized that we have children. I forgot about them.
Yeah. Right. No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. Maybe a little.
No, you didn't.
So one of the big things that we're hoping to be able to kind of bring you guys along the way, and hopefully be able to give you guys a lot of good insights, because we honestly haven't been able to find anything out there for this type of lifestyle, and I think it, at least for myself, it's kind of always been a little bit defeating, because obviously most people that live this lifestyle are either a remote based job, travel nursing is a big one, or they were able to take their regular 9 to 5 job because of the internet. Obviously we are not those people. My current full-time job I cannot take with me. It is can't be remote, so I will have to leave that, and I will be relying on RV inspections and photography for our income. Now that may change in 6 months. I'm not honestly 100% sure. We will adapt as we need to. We are not going to be traveling, I think, as fast as what a lot of people do. I think we will probably stay put for a month, depending on where we are, a month or 2 months at a time, just to make that type of transitions a little bit easier, at least until we figure things out, if we ever figure things out. I think the trade-off to this is yes, the income and the work may be a little bit more ups and downs, but the lifestyle itself is much simpler. So I believe it's a trade-off. Yeah, I won't have my comfort level with having my check every 2 weeks, but I won't have to worry about cutting the grass or fixing the house or any of that type of stuff.
Well,
So,
we'll have to fix the house, but it'll
well,
be
I
different
mean,
fixing of
exactly.
the
I
house.
mean, yeah, I think our unit's probably 250 square feet. I mean, it's much easier to deal with
Right.
than a full out house. So hopefully, we
Yeah,
are
we're
able.
coming from a less than 1,000 square foot house on
Hmm.
a little under 2 acres, and that was a very consuming. Although we loved it, it was very consuming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a
Yard
person.
work
Yeah,
and
and I don't ask
you
for
know,
help. I do everything
yeah,
myself, which is great and horrible at the same
we
time.
did a lot of work together. We did.
All the manual stuff for the most part is myself. She helps where she can. That's for sure. I
I
mean,
put our entire bathroom floor in by myself.
yes, tile work. I found out that she's actually really good at tile. I mean, I got bad knees, so I was not complaining at that one. I just cut the tile and handed it to her. So that was great. That worked out. But as far as hiring outside help, I don't do it. I'm a stickler with things. Hopefully that shows through when we do the tour of our RV when we're done renovating it.
Yeah, we're renovating our brand new RV, but that's a totally different subject for
Yeah.
a whole new video. We'll do a video on that as well.
Yep. We messing it up.
So, how do you feel about like really going against the grain? Does it feel liberating or is it terrifying?
At first it was terrifying. Now it's liberating.
Yeah.
I have come to the conclusion that you will have people that will be extremely happy and excited for what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And
People that
then-
might surprise you
Yes.
are going to be extremely happy and
And-
excited and will be your cheerleaders.
and you will have people that are the people that you wished would be the ones cheerleading for you or saying go for it, try it. That won't, and they're going to be
And-
against it.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll do everything in their power to ruin it for you.
Yeah, but you just need to realize you're your own person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hopefully they're giving you grief and for the right reasons, and they're just they don't want to see you fall. But in the same sense, what's life if you're not risking falling? You're not taking any leap of faith. I've always been the person that has taken the safer side, which is funny because growing up I raced motocross and I didn't even have a brain. There wasn't anything I wouldn't do, and then all of a sudden the switch flipped, and then I was the polar opposite to where I was more concerned about my retirement than I was doing anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a weird time.
Life is all about your ebbs and flows. You know what I mean? You go through things.
So how about you?
What about me?
As far as your fears and liberations and all of that.
Well, I definitely have a certain fear of the unknown, I guess. I really don't want fear to run my life anymore. I think it's run enough of my life. And I don't want my children to grow up fearful. So there's that. I want to teach them to
They're
get
their own
out there
person.
and see the world and be the
Yeah.
person that they're meant to be. Not the person that this world wants to mold to fit in its box. So,
Mhm.
and I could go on and on for hours about
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's relatively about why we want to do this. And sorry, this is a pretty boring just talking head, but we felt like we kind of need to introduce ourselves. And
What better place to do it than here at Fort Zachary State Park,
it
Florida,
is.
because it's freaking beautiful here.
Yeah, very
And
nice.
we'll show you guys that later on because we're currently in Key West doing the hippie thing in a van
Yep.
down by the river.
Which there'll be videos for that as well. So if you always thought Key West was expensive, we have a way for you to not be expensive.
Yeah.
Not as luxurious,
Right.
but just as much fun.
I haven't showered in over 48 hours, but
But there's
I
an
don't
ocean.
care. Yeah.
So
And it's pretty
that
spectacular.
that counts a little bit.
Do I stink?
Okay, it doesn't count. Not at all.
I don't stink. Just bring your deodorant.
Bring 2 sticks. Best idea. All right, you guys. Later.